All right, let's start then. Again, good evening, and thank you everyone for joining. We have right now 77 people attending. Hopefully, we will have more people. I'm going to share my screen so you can see the presentation I prepared for you all. Okay, just a quick confirmation. Can you say yes if you can see my screen? Just type yes or no in the chat, please. If you can see my screen. Okay, cool. Bunch of yes. All right. So as I mentioned before, save your questions for the end of the presentation. Do not type your question right now in the chat because I will not be seeing the chat right now. I'll be more focused on this presentation. And by the end, as soon as I open for questions, please just save your questions and send it in the chat later. All right. So yeah, we are here to talk about the Colombian mission. We are hosting this mission recruiting event in Medellin, Colombia. It will take place in March 7th and 8th, 2020. The time is going to be from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Cool. So overview. This is the third recruiting mission that we have been doing. We already have over 120 hires in the past. So actually, this is going to be the fourth recruiting mission. We already did 3 in the past. We had over 120 hires. Some success cases. I'm going to share this YouTube video with you all. And by the end of the presentation, I will copy and paste these links for you. But if you go to YouTube and just type Van Hack recruiting mission, you'll be able to see these videos as well. By the way, Stella and Pablo, they are from Colombia as well. So this may be also a motivation video for you to see success case from someone from Colombia as well, who got a job. Both of them are in Vancouver right now. So let's talk about the Van Hack selection process to start. We have a few steps before you are selected for the mission or not. First step is the English verification. My question for you, have you done it or not? I can see in our pipeline that many of you did not complete the English verification process yet. This is a mandatory step. So it's required for you all to do the test. Otherwise, we won't be able to select you. My recommendation for you, a quick tip, do not feel afraid about these English verification tests. Most of the candidates complete this process in just 15 minutes. You don't need to do any preparation. You don't need to dress up for this. It's a simple, straightforward English verification. We are going to ask you very simple questions, straightforward. We just want to hear you speaking in English for a few minutes, okay? Very, very simple. Don't overthink about this test, okay? Second step, the code verification. Same question, have you finished and with a good score or not? Again, this is mandatory. We use the HackerRank platform to verify your coding skills. Those are very straightforward, not very complicated tests. As soon as you complete it, it will take some business days for the HackerRank company to review your score and post in your profile, updating your profile, what score have you got, okay? You need to have a good score. If you have questions about what is a good score, a bad score, you can ask us on Slack and we'll be able to let you know about that as well. Another very important step is the Van Hack profile. So you need to make sure to fill out the following topics. Your professional experience. In our Van Hack profile, we have a specific field for you to upload, to write down which job positions you have had in your professional career. So job title, from which date to which date, and your job duties. Okay. We also have another point for the GitHub, another field for you to put your GitHub link if you have one. There are other companies similar to GitHub as well. Not necessarily need to be GitHub, can be other platforms as well. Your LinkedIn link, it's very important for you to add this information there. We also have an option for you to attach your personal resume. Important to mention, your resume must be in English as well. I have seen your VanHack profile in English, but then when I upload or actually download your resume, I see that it's in Spanish. So both VanHack profile and your resume must be in English. There are some candidates who also hold a personal website. This is not mandatory. It can be just a plus for your profile if you have a personal website to show your work. It's also very nice for you to check it out. Important to notice, guys, all the companies check everything. They don't check just your VanHack profile. They don't check just your resume or just your LinkedIn. They like to see the whole combo. And the whole combo means your English verification, your code verification, your VanHack profile completed, including professional experience, GitHub, LinkedIn, resume attached, and a personal website if you have. The final step, after you complete all of this, you have an interview with our in-house recruiter. So our recruiter will verify all the above topics that I just mentioned, plus we're going to double check again your professional experience. So we will talk about all the technologies, the tech stack that you have used during your career, okay? Some of you may have done your interview with the recruiter without finishing the English verification or the code verification, or your VanHack profile is not completed yet. Again, the both points are mandatory. Even though you had an interview with the recruiter, if you don't finish everything else, you will not be selected for the event, okay? We simply cannot have your profile incompleted and presenting this for the companies based in Canada and based in Europe, evaluating your profile. This is basically a quality standpoint, if you understand me, okay? Moving on, preparation. So after you complete everything, all the verification steps, all the selection process steps, and you are formally selected and invited to participate in the recruiting mission in Colombia, we will start your preparation. Of course, you will receive an email from VanHack saying that you are now selected and invited for the mission. Right after that email, you will receive another email from one of our employees explaining about the preparation. So what is the preparation? First of all, it's a prep kit. Of course, VanHack will select you based in a company requirement. So we will have a company either from Canada or from Europe that has an open position that fits your profile. Okay, we are not going to invite you to attend to the mission without having a job to offer you. Okay, we are not requiring you to spend a whole day of your weekend without having an interview for you to attend. Okay, so the prep kit will show the company name that will be interviewing you. Okay, you'll be able to understand what this company does, their business, and also the job description. You'll be able to read what the company is looking for. So of course you can prepare yourself. Okay, this preparation kit will be available for you in either in a Google Drive document or in our platform. Okay, again, we're going to have an email explaining in a very detailed way how you can access all of this. Okay, in this prep kit, of course, we're going to have some tips for you to prepare for your interview and for this event in general. All right. Next step is the mock interview. What is the mock interview? You're going to have a 45 to 6 minute meeting or interview with one of our interview specialists. This person will ask you questions, like general questions that companies from Canada or from Europe, that they are usually asked in an interview process. Why we are doing that? Just for you to have a sense of which questions you should expect and how you should answer. So as soon as you answer the question asked by our interview specialist, we are going to listen, of course, and then give you feedback, saying you said this and that in a very good way, or you should improve and change the way that you are speaking on this way and that way. Okay? In the end, you should finish this mock interview way more prepared and some homework to do, so you can be 100% ready for the event again. Okay? We are going to provide information for you as well, such as, again, tips on how to behave, how you should communicate, how to ask questions, dress code, and many other information that is useful for you, and common questions that people usually have when attending to this kind of recruiting events. Okay? We also have in our platform courses. So there are videos and documents available in our platform for you to study. So not just the prep kit, not just the mock interview, and not just all the information we are sharing with you, but we also have courses in our platform that you can watch and read to, again, better prepare yourself. And finally, in our Slack, we're going to have a specific channel for the Colombia mission. You will be added to this channel just in case and just if you are selected. On this channel, it's an open space for everyone to exchange ideas, suggestions, ask questions, and the Van Hack team will be there to support you in any way that you may need. Okay, moving on. The agenda. So the event, we ask everyone to arrive between 8 and 9 a.m. This is for your registration. If you arrive at 8:55 a.m., you are probably going to get a line and you will need to wait to register. So I recommend you try to arrive as soon as possible. We are going to, of course, be checking your name and your identity to make sure that you were invited for the event and you have an interview on that day. So we can allow you to access where the event is going to happen. Okay. The event then from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. to noon, we are going to have the interviews and code challenge. We'll explain about the interview and code challenge. We're going to have lunch from noon to 1 p.m., 1 hour lunch. Yes, Van Hack is going to offer food and then drinks for everyone. This is going to be free. And from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m., again, more interviews and code challenge. So how will the interviews and code challenge going to work? The interviews are going to be either 30 minutes or 60 minutes, okay? Depending on the company, you will have a 30 minutes interview, and other companies may be choosing to do a 60-minute interviews. We are going to have a calendar available for everyone to see what time you have interview which company, okay? And also, of course, which day. As I mentioned, the mission is going to happen in both days, in 2 days, 7 and 8 of March. You must attend only in one day, okay? It's either on Saturday or either on Sunday. You are actually not allowed to attend in both days, okay? Your interview or interviews will happen just on Saturday or just on Sunday. Again, you will receive a calendar invitation in your personal email, and we are going to share all this info through email, formalizing which day and which time you should be at the event. Okay. Code challenge. What is that? The companies will be bringing possibly their homemade code test. This is also part of their recruiting process. So you ask yourself, okay, I'm going to arrive at 9 a.m. I will register, and let's say that my interview is at 10 a.m. What I'm going to do for the rest of the day? You will do the code test. Okay. You must develop the code test requested by the company that selected you and that's going to interview you. Okay. And now I already started my second point. What will happen after the event ends? So let's say that you go there on Saturday, you arrive at 9 a.m. At 10 p.m. you do your interview, and then you use the rest of the day to develop the code test requested by the company. And then Saturday finished, you go home, and the coming week, the company will review your code test that you developed on that day, and they will review their notes about your interview with them. And then they will decide, okay, I want to continue the process with this candidate. And then you may ask yourself, oh, so it's not done. After the mission, I will receive a job offer or not? No. Most of the companies will do 1 or 2 or 3 more interviews. Those interviews will happen virtually, or the company may even invite you to go to Canada or go to Europe and visit their office and do the final interview. You may meet their CEO, their CTO, the team that you will be working with, the city that you would be living in. So they want you to have this, this taste and this experience before offering you the job. Okay, so that's why they will have more 1 or 2 or 3 face-to-face interviews, on-site interviews. Okay, so you need to be prepared for that. After the event, you may or may not be receiving an offer, and you may or may not need to do more interviews. Okay. Okay, so these are the jobs that we have available at the event right now. So we have integration APIs, .NET, front-end, Angular and React, Node.js and front-end, Java, JavaScript, data science, and etc. Those are the confirmed jobs that we have right now, okay? But we are working hard to get more companies. We actually have 2 more companies confirmed, but I don't know which positions they are hiring for yet, and this list will be updated. Again, we will select your profile based on these jobs. Okay, if you are a Node.js developer and you have experience with Angular, you may be selected right away. But if you are, let's say, a mobile developer, we don't have a job yet, but maybe tomorrow these new companies will be telling us, I want to hire a mobile developer. So we will invite you to attend to the mission right away. Okay. Of course, if you completed your profile, English verification, code verification, and you have done your interview with the recruiters. Another important information here, our recruiters are emailing you many times requesting you to schedule an interview with them. We already needed to reject around 40 people because they are not getting back to us to schedule their interview. Okay, so pay attention to that, check your junk box, your spam, and in your personal email to see if there's emails from VanHack there. Okay, you don't want to lose an opportunity just because you didn't see a simple email requesting you to schedule an interview, right? Moving on, immigration and relocation process. Okay, so quick review. Again, you do your entire verification process with VanHack. VanHack selects you to attend to the mission. You do your interview and your code test during the event. After that, you do 1 more interview or 2 more interviews with the company virtually. and finally you receive the job offer. What happens after that? We start your immigration process, okay? One step is the visa sponsorship. All the companies will sponsor your visa and your family visa as well, okay? Let's say a company in Vancouver wants to hire you. They need to do their process to be able to sponsor a visa. So they need to connect with the government, the Canadian government, do the required steps. And then the government tells them you are allowed to bring someone from Colombia to work in Canada. Right after that, we start your work visa process. So we need to prove to the government again that you meet all the requirements to work as a developer. Right after we do that, you receive your work visa. As soon as your work visa is approved, your spouse, your partner will receive a work visa as well. So yes, your partner will be legally authorized to work in Canada, okay? And if you have children, they will have their visa to study in Canada as well, all right? All this work visa process is supported by our in-house regulated consultant, okay? What is a regulated consultant? Our government, the Canadian government, they vet all the consultants, and they need to authorize these consultants to work with immigration, okay? We have someone working exclusively for Van Hack, and this person will be in touch with you, explaining and answering all the questions that you have regarding immigration and how you can apply for your work visa, okay? And then relocating. How do you do all this huge move from Colombia to Germany, let's say? We have a relocation coordinator that will explain to you again all the main points that you should know to prepare yourself to move to Germany. For example, we have a relocation guide specifically for Germany. Everything that you need to know. How do I rent a house? How do I open a bank account? How can I buy a cell phone line in Germany? You know, how can I apply for the public health service? Those simple questions that we know very well how to do in our own country, but in a different country, in a new country, we understand that this can be very, very complicated. So that's why we have this person connecting with you and with your family as well. We will help your partner, your children to understand what they need to do to move to this new country, either Germany or Europe, any country in Europe or in Canada. So you feel more confident and comfortable with this huge change of life, you know? And then you also ask yourself, moving to another country can be very, very expensive, right? That's correct. Can be very expensive, especially if you're moving with a family. You will be needing to purchase airplane tickets. You need to rent a house and many other general costs that you will have to move to another country. So it's important for you to know two things. The first one is most of the companies, they support you financially on that. And you must know, you should ask this question if you receive a job offer, okay? After you do the entire recruiting process, you are approved and the company is offering you a job. It's not just about salary. It's not just about benefits. It's also about relocation support. Again, most of the companies will be offering you something between 3,000 to 5,000 euros or Canadian dollars, so you can afford the tickets. So you can afford by renting a house and any other costs that you may have during this relocation process. But in the end, you will always have to have some money as well, okay? You need to start thinking about some savings as an investment, because that's very important. This 3 to 5 thousand euros or Canadian dollars may not be enough for you to cover all the costs, okay? So you need to have some savings. You need to think about your financial situation right now to be prepared for this move, okay? Okay, it was quite quick, almost 30 minutes explaining everything. So let's stop sharing my screen right now. Oops. Okay. Cool, so let's go for questions. I'm not a developer, I'm manual QA, I believe quality assurance. Do I have to complete the code verification? So, Monica, if we do not offer the QA tests, I believe we do not offer. No, you don't need to complete. All right, don't worry about that. When will you guys let us know if we are selected or not? We are selecting the first batch of candidates. There are around 80 people selected already this week. This week, we are going to send you an email letting you know that you're selected. Okay? And of course, that's not the only batch that we're selecting. From now, by the end of February or mid-February, we will be selecting candidates. Okay? Is there any possibilities for UI UX designer dev? Yes, it may have. Right now, as you saw in the job list, we do not have any UI UX designer, but we may have in the future. For example, the last mission in Brazil, we did have 1 or 2 UX UI designers hired. No, there will not be remote work, guys. This is an event for developers, engineers that are willing to relocate. Unfortunately, there are no remote jobs being offered in this event. If you only want a remote job, I recommend you to withdraw your application. This is not the right event for you. Go to our job board in our website, and we do have remote jobs being offered there. I'm a DevOps. Do I have to complete the code verification? I do believe that we have a DevOps test. So please go check it out. And yes, if there is the DevOps test, complete it. You will be required, and this is mandatory. Okay. When are the deadlines for code verification? Today? Just kidding, but as soon as possible, guys. Hector, you may be on the list to be selected right now. But if your code verification is not completed, we may, give the preference for another candidate who has the code completed. So that's why I tell you, do it as soon as possible. Okay. Moving on. Do you know when is the deadline to let us know if we are selected? End of February, for sure, we have everyone selected already. Okay. But we want to move fast. We want to have everyone selected as soon as possible. So in the next 2 to 3 weeks, we should have everyone selected. So think about late February, everyone should be selected already. Okay. Yes, the code verification is in HackerHank. I already answered the UI UX question. This is mandatory. All companies offer cost relocation support. No, this is not mandatory. Most of the companies do offer the relocation support, but it's not mandatory, guys. It's not something that it's in the law or that they must offer. Some companies may not offer you a relocation support. In that scenario, if you decide to accept the offer, you will need to afford the entire relocation cost. Okay. Very good question, Carlos Ruiz. How long is the visa application process? Usually take 4 to 6 weeks. Okay. So right after you sign the job offer, we start counting the immigration process. Okay, so in 2 months top, very top, you should be moving to Canada or Europe. Okay, that's also something very important. If you're not ready to relocate by end of May, beginning of June, this is not the event for you either. Okay, you should give this space and your spot for someone who is ready to relocate in the first semester of this year. Okay, companies are desperate for developers, they are desperate for engineers, and they must have these engineers as soon as possible in their office. Okay. When is the deadline for code verification? I already answered this one. As soon as possible. Are you going to have an next event in Bogota? No, we will not. It's only in Medellin. If you are not able to travel to Medellin either on March 7th or March 8th, again, this will not be the right event for you. You must be there to participate in the event. Okay. I am abroad. I'm planning come back in April. Just answered. No, we are not planning right now to do another event. We may have another one late this year, but we don't have any information about that right now. Just answer the Bogota question. To complete the code challenge during the event, the companies will provide laptops to complete them. That's a very good question, David. You must bring your computer. No company or VanHack will not offer computers for you. You must bring your own and your personal laptop. Okay? You do not need to bring any resume. You don't need to print any paper. All the companies are going to be using the VanHack platform. Okay? They will have access to your resume from there, to your code test, to your LinkedIn, GitHub, all from the platform. If your VanHack profile is not completed, again, the company will not be able to evaluate your profile completely well, and that may affect you in a bad way. Okay? So again, verify your English, verify your code, complete all the required fields in your VanHack profile. Yes, George, you need to have your own devices. Just answer this one. And complete my profile code and English test. Can I get some offer next month? Yes, Nicholas, you may get an offer as soon as possible. There are more than 120 open positions in our platform. You can apply for them. The event is happening only in March, so you will be getting your offer in March, not in the next month, not in February. But yeah, you must complete your code, your English to be able to get a job offer. About what is going to be the meeting tomorrow in Medellin. Very good question, Juan. That's a simple meetup that VanHack is organizing. We have a VanHack employee based in Medellin. He's going to be meeting face-to-face with all the developers who are in Medellin tomorrow. It's basically to hang out, to meet face-to-face. This VanHack employee will be answering a bunch of questions that you will have. So yeah, that might be a very, very good experience for you if you're based in Medellin. Also, I will be attending to that meetup, but virtually. I'll be there to answer questions that you may have. Okay. What do you said about Brazil? I am in Rio. No, Edwin. I just mentioned that last year we had an event like this one in Brazil, but this year it's happening in Colombia. The list of complete list of countries you will be hiring for. I don't know if I understand the question, Santiago. What is the complete list of countries you'll be hiring for. I mean, there is companies confirmed from Canada and from Germany. So automatically, we are offering jobs in Canada and in Germany. We may have companies from other countries in Europe attending, but that's not confirmed yet. Jesus Andres is asking, age ranges are allowed. I mean, you must be older than 18, of course, to be legally authorized to get a job either in Canada or Europe. But guys, this is not for junior developers. All the companies, they're looking for intermediate to senior engineers. So you should take that in consideration. VanHack will be selecting candidates who are in the level of intermediate to senior, because that's the requirement from the companies. Okay, so automatically you probably you are in your 20s or in your 30s or your 40s. Question: I did one code verification test, but I'm looking for a new one like Angular, but there is only JavaScript tests. No, we don't have framework tests available. So you got to do the JavaScript. If the company that is going to interview you wants to do more specific tests in Angular or React or any other skill, they will test you using their homemade test. Okay, the one that you will develop during the event. Yeah, bring your laptop. So this is a very good question, Aimer. How is the possibility to help our spouses to get a job in the new location? So firstly, if your spouse or your partner is also a developer, we can definitely help them to get a job. VanHack is specialized in helping engineers to get a job. Okay, so if your spouse or your partner is also an engineer, I actually strongly recommend them to apply for the event. Not just you. Tell your partner to apply as well, and we will review them. Okay? But if your partner works with any other area that is not IT, VanHack will not be able to directly help you or your spouse to get a job. But guys, it's not that complicated to get a job in Canada or in Europe. The market is very, very hot. So your partner will have an open work permit. They will be able to work in any company in Canada or Europe. So yeah, just need to speak English and apply for jobs. They should be able to get a job very fast as well. Andrea is asking, is there possibility to be selected if you have 63 in your code verification? Yes, there is a possibility, but I recommend you to try again to get a better score. Okay, as simple as that. The same test that you took, there are candidates getting 80, 90, 100%. So why not try again to get a better score? That's gonna be valuable for you. Okay. Juan Carlos asking, can I attend the March event with a companion? You can bring someone to Medellin, of course, but you cannot bring to the event specifically, okay? The space of the event is made for only the candidates to be there. It's a matter of, size as well. Imagine if everyone brings someone, it's not gonna fit all the candidates, all people there. Okay, so of course to Medellin, your companion can come. but they will not be allowed to enter in the event. They will need to wait to be in a different place. Okay. Do you know if in the past there were open positions for PO, Scrum Master, Agile before? I don't know from the top of my head, but a Scrum Master, I believe, yes, we did have. But right now we don't have. But in the next companies that are confirming, we may have a position like that. But unfortunately, it's not that common. Okay, it's more common developer engineers positions. I already explained about tomorrow's event in Medellin. It's a meetup. It's just for you to meet everyone, ask questions, and integrate a little more with everyone who is applying and participating in the event. Okay. Doing my code verification this weekend. That's very good, Javier. Fader is asking, I'm doing code verification in Python because I don't see one for data architects or data engineers. Is that okay? Yes, that's perfectly okay. All data engineers or data architect, they have some programming skills as well. So just do the one that you are most used to. If it's Python, Java, Golang, any other skill, you can do using that. Okay. So Juan is asking company code test. No, that does not mean you got an email saying the company is sending you a code test. And if you are already selected, no, you need to be approved on this code test before you are selected. This is a very specific situation, guys. It's not for everyone. But Juan, if you have questions, please email us and we will clarify this situation for you. Luis is asking, what happens if you are in an express entry system or federal skilled worker? No problem at all. We will analyze if you get a job offer. We'll analyze your current situation and we'll explain to you how we should proceed. In either way, you will get your authorization to work in Canada. And our consultant will explain to you and support you on that. Do I need to pay for something? George is asking. No, VanHack does not charge anything. Of course, you need to cover your costs. If you're not from Medellin, you need to have a place to stay, maybe a hotel, Airbnb, any other place. You need to cover that. Your airplane tickets or the cost of driving to Medellin, you need to cover that. But VanHack or participating in the event, there is no cost for that, okay? My question is if JavaScript tests apply to all frameworks, libraries. Yes, Oscar. It's pure JavaScript tests. We don't have framework tests in our platform. Question, I forgot to submit my code verification challenge. Is there a way for me to retry a challenge prior to the month cooldown? Yes, just email us or Slack us. We will authorize you to do the test again. If the job is in Canada, what about French language? So most of Canada speaks English. That's the first language. If we have a company from Quebec, where they also speak French, most of the companies do not request that you are fluent in French. Okay, so don't worry about this at all. just you need to have your English in a high level, advanced or fluent. Okay. Fernanda, unfortunately, no, we don't have Scrum Masters or Project Managers position. We may have in the near future. As I mentioned, there are more companies confirming that they will attend, and maybe they will have a Scrum Master or a Project Manager position. Okay, stay tuned. If we have this position, we will be selecting, reviewing your profile. Okay. Carlos asking the next event for who wants to relocate in October or after. We don't have another event in Colombia or any other country confirmed. If you want to relocate in October or after, we recommend you, when it's close to this date, you start applying in our positions. Okay. Many of the candidates that get hired through Van Hack, they don't participate in any event. They do the entire process virtually. They go to our job board, they apply for the position, they do the interviews virtually, and they get the job. Okay? So, Carlos, when you're ready to relocate, go to our job board and apply for the positions. Okay? Just getting a few more questions. Very good question, Rodolfo Silva. Pre-selected is not the same as selected. No, it's not. Pre-selected means that you were interviewed by our recruiters. Our recruiters approved your profile, but one of the following situations are happening. First one, you don't have your profile completed. You either need to complete your English, your code, or your profile is missing information. That's why you're pre-selected. That can be one of the reasons that you're pre-selected. Or you have all your profile completed, but there is no job position for you yet. There is not a job position that is a good fit for you. So we keep you in pre-selected until we have a company looking for a candidate who has the same profile that you have. Okay. Danny, love the way you say Medellin. I'm looking forward to learn the correct way to pronounce it in the Spanish. So Jefferson is asking a good question. If there's any problem if you have an intermediate English level. I mean, if you have an intermediate English level, but you still can communicate in a good way with a Canadian or a European person, no problem at all. But if you have an intermediate English and you don't feel comfortable communicating with someone who is a native English speaker, yes, that may be a problem for you. Okay, but there's no yes or no strong answer for this question. We need to communicate with you, to interview you, to just then decide if you can be considered for a position or not. Carlos asking, there is only exists one DevOps test with Puppet questions. Can you make another test with Ansible questions for DevOps? No, unfortunately, we cannot. I recommend you to try your best using Puppet, unfortunately. Okay, Fader is asking a question. The process with Van Hack continue with other opportunities after the meetup. You have a premium plan. Can you explain some about it? So let's say that you're not selected for the mission, or if you are selected for the mission and you do not get hired there, Yes, you can continue working with Hack and applying for the jobs that we are offering. Okay, that's no problem at all. We do have the premium plan. Premium is made to help you to improve your English, to improve your communication skills during an interview. We help you to improve your profile, your resume, and etc. Go to our website, read a little bit more about premium. That's very, very good if you need more help to be more prepared for interviews, to communicate better in English, etc. Okay. Andre, very good question. How many people is going to participate in the event? It's going to be something around 150 candidates participating, and a few companies offering around 50 positions, or maybe even more, 60, 70 positions. Okay, so you have a very good chance to get a job. Usually it's one position per 3 candidates, or one position per 2 candidates. So that's a very good chance for you to get a dream job in Canada or in Europe. It's good to have a multiple verification tests, of course, Daniel. If you have the knowledge of different programming languages, do as many as you can. That will just help you. Juan is asking, I have the job experience, but my English is not fully fluent. Do you think it's worth it to continue in the process? Of course, Juan, you do not need to have a fluent or native English level. If you have advanced or even intermediate, but yes, we understand that you can communicate in a very good way in English, we will select you anyway, and you will be, able to get this job opportunity. So don't focus only on that. Don't overthink that your English is not good enough. Let us evaluate you and tell you if you're ready or not. Okay? Okay, guys. So I do have a lot of more questions here. Okay, you can say Medellin, something like that. Juan is asking the address or place in Medellin. We are not disclosing the location right now. We will share this information with the candidates who are selected. Okay. Juan's also asking, is there any permanent clause with the company? I mean, you sign a contract with the companies. It's a normal contract that every employee, doesn't matter if you're Canadian, if you're a European citizen, or if you are from Colombia, everyone, all the employees, they sign with the same contract with the company. Okay, it's a normal contract. Even in Colombia, you sign the contract with the company you work for, right? It's basically the same idea. Okay. Okay. I think I got most of the more important questions. Tomorrow we are going to have the meetup. If you are in Medellin or close by, I strongly recommend you to attend. We will be answering more questions there. I will be again participating virtually and answering more questions. So again, thank you everyone for attending, and I hope to see you in the event in March 7 and 8. Thank you. Bye-bye.